Good morning. Okay, so let's make two holiday cards, and I wanted to use the 6x6 paper. Okay, so if you don't have 6x6 paper, obviously, if you take a 12x12, you can cut it in fourths and have four pieces. But we will do, let's put this one back. We'll do the portrait one first. So that means it's going to be oriented this way. So we have a base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, your usual A2 card size. And then you've got a piece of designer series paper that's 5 1/2 by 6. So I took that 6x6 and just cut off a 1/2 inch here. All right, because I want this to match. So then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Now on this particular piece of paper, it doesn't really have an orientation unless I'm using the back, which is the musical notes. So I am going to make sure that I'm scoring it the long way because the inside of the paper is going to show. So let me show you what I mean by that. Whoops, that's a cutting blade. So I'm just going to score this with my arm. We'll fold it. And this is going to become the front of your card. So it's going to fit just square on there. Okay, but then when you open it, you're going to see the musical notes. So let me go ahead and attach this. I'm using Stampin' Seal, but you can use your liquid glue or tear and tape or whatever you might have. Just want to make sure that you're lining it up completely square here so that it becomes the whole front of your card. Okay? Now this piece is going to go just like a regular in the inside, and really, I mean, that's the card. So we're going to take Stampin' Up! Came out with these greetings for you mix and match ephemera pack in the mini catalog, and it makes it really easy if you don't have a lot of Christmas greetings that you can find one that you just want to use on the front of the card. So let's say, look at this last one here. I kind of like that. Happy Christmas. Okay, and I'm going to put that on, but if I just put it on here, I think it kind of gets lost. So I was going to just maybe punch a shape here. And I'm using Old Olive for this, and I'll attach this here and this here, and you have like a super simple card. Now, you could go on and use some, die cut branches or whatever you want to use on here. But I am just going to keep this one for the sake of, it's more about the technique of making this card than about actually how I'm going to decorate it. But simple cards are not a problem. I think, especially at Christmas, I'm usually sending a lot of cards. So it's kind of nice if, if I don't spend a ton of time, get that one off, getting them all made. And then I usually have, a couple people that I send to that I know are going to keep the card. So on those cards, I may, put some extra ephemera or something on there. Now this could go up here, it could go down here. I'm putting it straight in the middle because that's the only decoration that I'm putting on the front of the card. Okay, and then for the inside, just so that we can stamp something, I thought I would use the little berries on here, just because it kind of matches the berries there. And did I not bring a block? Of course not. There's one. I always forget something. So let's I'll do the berries and I'll do the little stem here. I think especially at the holidays, you really want to send some love to a lot of people. So having a nice easy card like this can be very helpful. And you don't have to stamp these berries in the corner. That's just something I thought I would do. I'll clean these later. Okay, so then I have to remember, I think this goes on here like this. Yes. I always, when I have a two-step like this, I try to line it up first. There we go. And then I know which orientation that I need to use. All right, and then let's see, we put Happy Christmas on the front. These are, again, just some of my older wishing you a season of smiles and love that lasts all year. These are just some of my older. I usually don't get rid of my Christmas sets because I like to use different parts of them. Sometimes the greetings, sometimes maybe some of the images. There we go. Okay. So very quick and easy card. I put a little bit of adhesive that got stuck on that placemat. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, I will be erasing that, or I will be adding maybe some more berries or something to cover that up. I hate it when I do that. Okay, so we have a very nice card. It's got the beautiful other side of the DSP on the inside. Okay, super, super simple. So now what if you wanted to make it landscape along this way instead of portrait long up in that way? So on this one, we're starting the same way with the base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then we're going to have our DSP that I've already cut. It was 6 by 6, and I've cut it to 4 1/4 to match this, and it's still 6. So now I am going to score this at 5 1/2 because that's how long my card is. Wait a minute, let me check we have musical notes on this, so I need the 5 1/2 to be that side. Okay, so see on this one, I was not leaving as much of a thing. So I felt like this card wasn't going to be as sturdy as this one. See where I've got like over an inch here. So I thought, you know what, one more step, we could make this into a bookbinding card. So I was going to score it again at 4 1/4. I'm just doing it upside down to make sure that I'm scoring the right way. Okay, so first I'm going to attach that first 1/2 inch on the card. And again, I'm lining that up to attach it just like this. Whoops. Okay. All right. So now if I have this, you can do it this way, but I just feel like that's like less sturdy. So since we hadn't done a bookbinding card in a while, remember, and that's where we adhere this down, I thought I would do that. Okay, so now see, I'm just opening that much, and I think that makes the card sturdier. So I've got my this one's the white is 4 by 4. I've already stamped that one because I wanted to spend just a little bit of time on the front this time. Okay, so this one I want to put my greeting, but I think it's nice on these book binding where you have a different color here. So here's some of my, that I cut off, and I thought, oh, I could put that here, and that might look nice. So I scored this is at 1 1/4. So if I cut it at 1 inch that way and five, no, 4 by 1. That's going to give me just a little bit over here. And see how that sets it apart? You've got this, the whole thing is the same. You put your little piece on here. Now you could also, instead, you could just wrap a ribbon around this side. You could take a different piece of solid, either the old olive, like I had here. You could put a piece of that on there, a piece of the red. There's a lot of choices that you could do to decorate that book binding part of the card. There we go. Okay, so then I'll take another one of my greetings. Let's take, yeah, you know what? I was going to show you something. Here's another Happy Christmas. I don't know what it is about Happy Christmas, but I just like that. Make sure I don't have two on here. All right, and I'm going to adhere this. Use a little bit of my liquid glue. A little bit coming out there. Try to keep my baby wipes on hand. There we go. Okay, so instead of just, which I could do, cut this into a rectangle, sometimes it's fun to fussy cut around the letters. So I'm just going to quickly do this, and I'm not getting real detailed. You could, as much as you like to fussy cut, or as little, you can make this as exactly matching as you would like. I just want to show you what it looks like. And this is easy. You don't need a die cut. You don't need a punch. You don't need, any special equipment just to stamp. If you don't have these pre-made ones, you could stamp your greeting on white, cut that out, and then mount it on another color and cut that out like I'm doing here. Okay, so see how that just looks nice? I think I will pop that up since I've got those out. Again, we're just adding a little something that's not, it doesn't take anything special. It doesn't really take a lot of time. That came off. Yep. No, it did not. There we go. Okay, and this one I think I might even put down here. You could have also put it even there if you wanted to put something else on the front of the card. Okay, so 2 quick and easy Christmas cards, just using your stash of designer series paper. So the first one that we did was portrait, meaning the longer part of the card is up and down. Easy. And again, I'm going to have to erase that. But you get to see both sides of the DSP, which I really like. The other one is landscape, meaning longer this way Have that. You still get to see the inside of the card. And again, you could put a piece of ribbon here. You could add some sequins to give it a little pop. You could put some red pearls over these berries to make them pop a little bit. But I hope you will try these because they're super simple. Yep, and have a great day.